Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be customizing the Bravado Gauntlet Classic in Grand Theft Auto Online. This vehicle is on sale this week, so I figured now is a good time to customize it. This is a pretty cool vehicle. It's got a lot of customization, and it also has a Benny's upgrade as well. Now, when I am recording this, Benny's upgrades are also reduced by 50%, so if you want a Gauntlet Classic custom, now is the time to do that. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and start off with the armor. We're going to go all the way up on that. The brakes as well for sure. For the bumpers, we do have front and rear options for this car. I personally think that I want to go for a primary stock bumper on this vehicle. For the rear bumper, we can go for a bolted stock bumper with overriders or without. And then of course the primary stock bumper as well. We're going to go primary stock for the rear as well. For the chassis, we can add a roll cage into the car. Unfortunately, you can't go for like just a rear half cage, so I'm just going to avoid the roll cage on this vehicle. For the engine, we are going to upgrade that all the way up. For the exhaust, we do have quite a few different options here. We do have some side exit exhausts, which are kind of neat, and then of course we just have the rear exits as well. I'm going to go for the anodized exhausts. I like the look of those, so let's do that. For the front fenders, we can add the Gauntlet vents onto the side. We're going to do that just because it adds a little more detail and breaks up the color on the side of the vehicle. For the grille, we have the primary sectioned grills, the secondary sectioned grills as well, the primary performance grills, secondary performance, and then the competition grills. We're going to go for the primary performance grills. I like the look of those. For the hood, we have the snorkel hood that we can add on, the carbon snorkel hood as well, the ridgeline hood, the carbon ridgeline hood, the twin intake, the carbon twin intake, the deep inset hood, the carbon deep inset hood, the dual filter blower, the Bravado filter blower, the oval intake bug catcher, and the triple intake bug catcher, as well as the entire exposed engine setup as well. I personally think that what I want to go for is probably the ridgeline hood or the twin intake hood. I think the twin intake hood is kind of unique, so we're going to go for that one. For the lights, we are of course going to go xenon. For the livery, we have the black Bravado stripes livery we got here. We have the white 445 livery, the twin black stripes, the twin white stripes as well, the Air Cav livery, that is pretty cool, the Nakota livery as well, that is also really cool, the Redwood Classic, the Hot Shot livery, the Rigid Rocket, the True Patriot, and back to none. I do really like the black Bravado livery. I do think that looks pretty cool. However, I think that I want to go for the twin white stripes on this car. So we got those on. Let's go yellow and black for the plate as usual. For the rear fenders, we can add rear vents onto this car. We can add just a single one or two. We're just going to do the single one. I think it looks a little better, so let's do that. For the respray of the car itself, I think that what I want to go for on this car is a red. I've never done a Gauntlet Classic in red, and I'm wondering about going for the crew color. The crew color is really bright. I'm not sure if it fits super well with the overall look of the car. I do kind of like it though. I think that I am actually going to go for the crew color. I think it looks pretty good. For the secondary color, obviously this does the entire roof section of the car. In all honesty, it actually looks pretty good in the ice white, but I do think that we're going to do this in the crew color as well, just to match up the rest of the car. For the trim color itself, we can change this quite a lot. I think that I just want to go for a simple black interior on this vehicle. I don't want to change it too much. For the roof, we can add a primary sunstrip, secondary sunstrip, rear window louvers, the primary roof as well, the vinyl roof, the secondary roof setup, the primary roof setup, or the vinyl roof setup. Let's go for the rear window louvers, I think. I think that I do want to add those, or maybe I don't. I'm not really a big fan of louvers, honestly. No, we're just going to leave the roof exactly how it is. For the side skirts on this car, we are going to add some on because I do want the car to have a little bit more of an aggressive look on the side. So we're going to go for the primary ridged skirt. For the spoiler, we can add a ducktail spoiler, an inset ducktail spoiler as well, a low-level spoiler, primary low-level spoiler, secondary low-level spoiler, bolted dovetail spoiler as well, primary super spoiler, that is a really cool option, and of course the secondary super spoiler. I think that what I'm going to go for is the ducktail spoiler. It's pretty basic, but I do like the look of it, so we're going to go for that. For the suspension, we are going to lower that down all the way. The transmission, we are going to upgrade this thing to a super transmission. That is a kind of a rare option, so let's do that for sure. Turbo tuning, gotta add that onto the car as well. For the wheels, I actually do kind of like the stock wheels. I think they fit pretty well with this car. However, I do think that some crackers are going to make this car look just a little bit better. So we're going to go for these. I do like the look of those. Let's do these in a black, of course. For the tires themselves, we are going to go bulletproof. And of course, for the windows, we are going to tint these all the way out. I'm pretty happy with how this car has turned out. I think it looks pretty good. The only thing that I'm maybe wondering about is changing those racing stripes to a black racing stripe, or even the black Bravado livery. I think that we are actually going to go for the black Bravado livery. I think it just looks a little tiny bit better. So let's do that. And let's go ahead and head outside. We're going to do a sound test and a full review on this car. All right, guys, here we are outside. Let's take a listen to the Gauntlet Classic. So the Gauntlet Classic doesn't sound too special, I would say. It sounds pretty average in my opinion, but it does sound good. I won't say that it sounds bad, that's for sure. Definitely sounds like an older American muscle car. I wish that it was a little louder and that you could kind of hear the sound coming out of the exhaust and, you know, bouncing off of the road and off of, you know, surrounding buildings and stuff, but it is loud enough and, you know, it sounds good enough for the car, I think. So to talk about the Gauntlet Classic, obviously the regular Gauntlet Classic doesn't have that much customization. A lot of that is probably due to the fact that they have the Gauntlet Classic Custom and they knew that they were going to do more customization options for it with the addition of the Gauntlet Classic Custom. So that kind of explains the sort of lack of customization options. There's not a whole lot for this thing, however there's more than you'd maybe expect even. I just wish that there were a few more little things that you could do here and there. However, with the Gauntlet Classic Custom, like I said, you can do that. So we might just do a customization on that later this week, so stay tuned for that if you guys are interested. But now we got to talk about the actual Gauntlet Classic. The Gauntlet Classic is a muscle car, obviously in GTA Online. The Gauntlet Classic Custom is probably just outside of the top 10 fastest muscle cars around a circuit in GTA Online. For an old muscle car, this thing actually has relatively good performance as well, I must say. The handling on this vehicle is shockingly good. It doesn't seem to really understeer too badly, and it also doesn't seem to oversteer too badly either. So it's really a well-rounded car, and it's actually kind of a pleasure to drive as far as a muscle car goes in GTA, especially an older one at that. This thing does actually feel really good. It's got decent brakes, and the acceleration due to that super transmission for sure is quite good. I think no matter what, the acceleration would be good either way, but that super transmission definitely seems to help push this thing along just a little bit better. The Gauntlet Classic also has a relatively high top speed, and coupled with the decent handling, I actually think that this is a pretty good car for racing in GTA Online. Of course, it's not going to be the fastest car ever, it's probably not even within the top 10, but it is a very solid vehicle, I think. And for free mode, it certainly is a great vehicle to own and a great vehicle to drive. Taking this thing to car meets would be a pretty fun experience. I think you could see a lot of different builds with these cars. And overall, while this thing is on discount, I think that it is worth picking up. The only thing is that there is a new DLC coming out very soon at the time of recording this video, so if you're planning on purchasing this thing, just make sure that you have enough money saved up for the DLC itself. Even if you guys are watching this when the Gauntlet Classic is not on discount, this is still a great car to pick up even at full price in my opinion, and upgrading it into the Gauntlet Classic Custom is also a good option as well. You will get a little bit better performance out of it, and definitely a few more customization options. So overall, the Gauntlet Classic Custom is definitely a car that I recommend picking up in GTA Online, whether it's on sale or not. When it's on sale, it's just more of a bargain than when it's not. So that's pretty much it for the Gauntlet Classic Custom in GTA Online. If you guys enjoyed this video or you found it useful, a like is of course appreciated, if not dislike. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.